All right, guys, it is now month 4. This is the final day, sadly, of the game. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to experience an expansion, which is good because the last few months, few game days, we've been in a recession and a depression, and so things went down. But things are going to get better. So the first thing that's going to happen is in month 4, box 1, we are going to earn an extra 10%. So our salary is going to go up 10%. But our employers are such nice people that it's not just the 10% from last month, it's the 10% from month 1 whenever things were getting better. And so now we're going to take that number, the original number from box 1, 947, 20 times, we're going to multiply it times 1.1. So the 0.1 is the extra 10%. The 1 is what we had before, so there's 1. Then we're going to add 10% to that by multiplying it times 1.1. And that comes equal to 3241.92. So we're getting a pretty hefty score there. Sorry guys, I got interrupted and had to come back and finish making this. So in month 4 here we have our numbers are we've had our increase of 10%, but because production is up so much and we are trying to produce as much as possible, things are getting better, you now get to have some overtime. So not only do you get the 10% that you had before, you're going to get an additional 10%. So we have our number here, 3241.92, and we're going to multiply it by another 10%, just like we did before. So we just took, go ahead and erase that or scratch out 3241.92, put in 3566.11. So awesome. That's what we have. That's a huge difference. I mean, that's over $600 difference from month 1 to month 4 per month over a year. That's $7,200 extra that you're going to get. So kudos for you. As a fitness instructor, that means a lot more people are getting fit, and it's better for us all, right? Now we got to do our taxes. Taxes are still applying. We're going to keep it simple. To keep our math simple, we're going to keep our same tax rate. In reality, we would get more. We might have to pay more taxes depending on how much more we made. So I get to keep 2353.63, which is awesome because hey, look at that. I more than double what I made from one month to the next, and things are getting better, it looks like. Now, if our salary, our wage is going to increase, that's going to cause some inflation because, as we studied last week, inflation, whenever people make more, prices rise because businesses want to tap into that money, and so they know that you can afford it, and maybe their costs increase as well, and so they got to pay for it one way or another. So we've got some leverage to make. We can go back and look at this, but with inflation, we're going to have some things happen. So if you turn your page over, we're going to go back to our choices here, and then housing, because you don't own your house, if you choose month 1, we're going to have to add 5%. 5% increase. So if we're going to do that, just like we did with our salary increase, 450 times 1.05. It's going to cost us $472.50 a month, which is awesome. Now, it's not going to be all the way across the board, though. So you already own your house. Hopefully you kept it. And if you choose a house your prices are not going to go up. So everything else, though, is going to go up. And everything is going to go up by 8%, including utilities. Even if you have, housing's not changing, but utilities is still going to change. The only thing that is not going to change is going to be investment. Now, in real life, maybe it does, but for our game's sake and for simplicity, we're going to keep it the same. So it's going to stay the same. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at what I chose for housing. Looks like I went back to an apartment, but maybe this month, I'm just going to keep the math simple. I'm going to go back to a small house. Okay, I'm going to go back to some transportation expenses. Remember, we had gas prices decreased because of the lack of demand for it, but we're going to go back to normal now, and everything's going to cost normal. I go back to having my car, my economic car, so $250 times 1.08 this time because it's an 8% increase. It's going to be $270. So $270. So I didn't go all the way back to what it was before. I'm going to stay with that economic car. It's going to cost me $30 more a month. Now my utilities are going to go up. So I went back to utilities in a small house. So 180 times 1.08 equals 194.40. So that's what it's going to cost. My food expenses. Now, times are good. I'm working out more because I've got more clients because they can afford me. And so I'm going to go up to choice 2, which should not surprise any of you. And I'm going to eat more times a week. I'm going to have more groceries, and so it's going to cost me some more. At $275 times 1.08 again for that 8% increase, we're getting $297 a month. $297, almost doubling what I'm paying for food. All right, and on investment this month, I'm going to go ahead. Since I'm saving money with my car still, and I know I'm making more money, I'm going to bump my investments up to $200 this month. Entertainment expenses, I went to 0 last month. I can go back to 100. So that's what I was doing before. You know what? Let's go back to month 1. I was doing $250 a month. So let's go back to $250 because I know I'm making more and I can afford that. So I've got all my choices. Let's add these together. All right, 19, 11, 40. And subtract from my money after taxes my net income there. 353.63. And so I have an extra $442.23. So I can actually go back and make more changes if I like, and still have money left. That means I can go up to possibly a medium-sized house, depending on what it costs after. Well, we know that is the case, so I can do that. I could also go up and get a more expensive vehicle maybe, and see what that might do. But for my choices, I have there. One more thing, and that is our investments this month. Our investments this month are going to increase by 30%. Things are going awesome. We're flying high. And so we have, turn my light back on here, 200 times, and to do this, just like we did the 8%, we're going to do the 30%. It's going to be $260, so I'm going to make $60 this month on our investment. Now, in real life, we would go through and over time look at how much I've invested versus ups and downs of the market in C, I would actually be down 1% if we played the game all the way through. Even though, times are good in this expansion, we're not back to normal. Even though we're making more money, the stocks aren't where they were, or maybe the interest rate wasn't where it was before, and so now we are there. Just as a reminder, this worksheet is still going to be due. Our game board is still due. It is going to be for points, and whenever you take your test, that is when I will put it in the grade book. So have it ready then, and good luck studying on the test.